trip to the grocery store today is costing Canadians up to 20% more than it did 2 years ago. But our next guest says this doesn't need to affect our healthy choices in the kitchen.
Here to show us some nutritious and delicious recipes that won't break the bank, let's welcome back registered dietitian Alyssa Steinberg.
Yay!
Thank you for having me. Okay.
Smells delicious.
Alyssa, so this is amazing. You've decided to focus on just 2 fresh produce staples for these recipes.
Yeah.
Tell us why you always reach for bananas. Let's start with bananas when you're at the store.
Okay, so bananas at 30 cents each are the most affordable, convenient fruit. No prep, no washing, and no fridge needed. Even the packaging is biodegradable, the peel. Bananas are shelf stable for up to 2 weeks at room temperature.
Okay.
And for overripe bananas, you can store them in the freezer for later use, for smoothies or baked goods. Bananas have potassium for heart health and muscle recovery, vitamin B6 for that energy boost, and 3 grams of fiber per banana, a dietitian's favorite F word, for digestion and fullness. The degree of ripeness of bananas does matter when it comes to blood sugar response. So choose yellow or green bananas for snacking with that low glycemic index, and for the overripe bananas, with that higher glycemic index, it's perfect as a natural sweetening agent in place of those processed sugars in baked goods.
Wow, the green one. It's a little stiff when it's green, no?
Some enjoy
people
it.
like
Some enjoy
okay,
it.
I'm not
yes.
gonna judge. All right, so
Low sugar.
All right, so tell us why you love cooking with carrots as well, because that's the other food.
Yeah, so carrots for just $3 for a 3-pound bag are the best value vegetables that last up to a month in the fridge. Their mild, sweet flavor makes them a crowd favorite. Who doesn't love carrots?
Yeah.
And they're very versatile. You can eat them raw, you can have them roasted, or even add them to sweet baked goods, such as carrot cake, muffins, and loaves. And carrots are a nutrient powerhouse with 4 grams of fiber per serving and beta-carotene, an antioxidant that supports eye and immune health. And so, simply put, carrots are an easy, cost-effective way to hit your veggie targets of 5 to 7 cups per day.
That's fantastic. All right, so I usually don't eat dessert before I eat dinner, but you brought us a cheesecake that I understand that you made with it's sweetened with bananas, and what else is really good about it?
So much. Okay, so this cheesecake here is not just $1.
Wait a second, let me put my cards down.
Get ready. So it's not just $1.75 per slice, but there's 16 grams of protein packed in each serving, and is made with just 6 ingredients. Yay! My kids devoured this the second it was out of the oven, and there's a reason why.
You know what? Melissa asked us to bring back food after we're done. Sorry, Melissa, it's not gonna happen.
It's all yours. And what I love most about this recipe is that the batter has no added or refined sugar, because that ripe banana covers all of the bases as your sweetening agent. I use peanut butter powder as the binder and also protein boost, plain Greek yogurt for protein and calcium for bone health. And the best part is this is a chocolate lover's dream with chocolate chips embedded in the batter and a chocolate icing layer to finish it all off.
I was like, we've never had food before.
$1.75 per slice.
It is
I love that.
So good, Alyssa. Okay. So you say
pace yourself.
It is simple and cost-effective to ditch some of our usual grocery store snacks and replace them with healthy homemade alternatives. So this is gonna be a hard sell a little bit, but talk about your carrot chips and dip.
Okay, so we are talking smashed carrots and a protein-rich French onion dip for just $1 per serving.
Okay.
So this is the perfect snack alternative to traditional chips, and it keeps you on track with your health goals. And
Well, here's what I like about this is actually, so it doesn't have quite the crisp that I was expecting, but it does have the salt factor. Anyone want the salt? Always that salt kick, right? This actually does it. It does the trick.
All we do is boil the carrots and then smash them with a flat surface or a fork. So they're perfect, that perfect crispy crunch happens in the oven. And smashing the carrots isn't just fun, it makes them the perfect shape for dipping. So paired with this creamy, protein-rich Greek yogurt French onion dip with caramelized onions, we have a budget-friendly snack that's big on flavor.
Love this.
All right, so you say carrot-based dish elevates any meal.
Yes.
So walk us through this roasted heirloom carrot dish.
Yes. Who says carrots have to be boring? This recipe, this recipe turns carrots from basic to fancy for just $2.50 per serving.
Oh, that's nice.
So here's how to make this magic happen in your kitchen. So start by roasting heirloom carrots in the oven with olive oil, salt, and pepper until crispy around the edges. Next up, blend feta cheese with Greek yogurt, lemon juice, garlic, and olive oil for that bottom layer mouth-watering flavor. For a plant-based protein can turn chickpeas into seasoned chickpea chips. And lastly, finish with crumbled feta, parsley, lemon zest. Once you scoop it, it's a party in your mouth.
It really is.
This is really delicious.
Garlicky. It's
a little something, little kick in it that is so good.
Carrots. Carrots.
Okay, so you say this next recipe will transport us to a fancy cafe, so at the fraction of a price. So tell us about how you made this tiramisu.
Yeah, so this treat is on me. I'm splurging.
Okay.
For just $2.30 per serving.
Come on.
This viral tiramisu chia pudding has been loved and recreated by millions online. It is high in protein, low in sugar, fiber-packed compared to tiramisu cake, and will satisfy those sweet cravings. And I'll tell you how to make it.
Okay.
So we start by mashing a banana, and in that same bowl, we're adding in Greek yogurt, chia seeds, maple syrup, and half a cup of our favorite drip coffee leftovers.
Okay.
Give it all a mix.
Yeah.
Add it to the refrigerator, and let the chia seeds absorb that extra liquid. So once it's set, we have here, I need your help here because we have two more steps to work on together.
Oh, we're gonna make
We're
this?
gonna add in some Greek yogurt to finish that top layer off.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Sorry, I'm so
I have you cooking with me. Amazing.
All right,
and then we're gonna go right into this.
Perfect. And we're gonna dust the cocoa powder for that classic tiramisu finish.
Nice light touch, Cynthia.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Okay, right, there
you
we go.
must have dusted before.
Okay, and
Love
then we
it.
can go right in?
You can even load it on, perfect.
Even more, and then we go in.
And this budget-friendly, high-protein dessert, breakfast.
Oh.
Will keep you full for hours.
You can't have this for breakfast. This tastes too good.
Will keep you
really
full
good.
for hours and taste just like tiramisu.
Okay, we're almost
You have
out
to
of time.
try it to believe it.
Yeah, we're almost out of time, but you've got to talk to me about these cookies. There's
Yes.
only, what, 3 ingredients in
Yes.
these cookies? Okay, explain.
Okay, so these cookies are just 25 cents per cookie. And they're a quick, wholesome recipe that's made with 1 banana, 1 cup of natural peanut butter, and 1/4 cup of chocolate chips. That's it.
That's it?
So
This
do
batter-
you need to bake them? You do bake them.
You do bake them for
Okay.
12 minutes, so it's even easier. But this makes 10 cookies, moist cookies, 12 minutes, and you have yourself. So in terms of grocery shopping, so next time, we are thinking, instead of packaged treats, think homemade, guilt-free, delicious snacks.
Oh my gosh, Alyssa, these are
Delicious.
so
Easy breezy.
good. Thank you so much for being here. Fantastic.
Welcome back to the show. There was a recent report that showed that nearly half of the food produced in Canada goes to waste. That is more than 21 million tons of food, with 42% of all of that being avoidable waste that could be eaten instead.
At a time when grocery prices are also skyrocketing, we all want to stretch our dollar and minimize what we throw out. So our next guest is here to help with scrappy spring recipes, perfect for Earth Month. So please welcome zero waste chef Christine Tizard back to the show.
So glad to be back.
Christine, we just want to say how happy we are to see you back. For those who have not heard, you actually were diagnosed with a rare form of cancer a little over a year ago, and you had to undergo a life-saving brain surgery. How are you doing now?
I'm actually doing really well. I mean, it's been a hell of a year, but my brain's intact. I'm here, and I'm so happy to be back.
We're so happy to have you.
Oh my, that is a wonderful update.
Yeah.
We're thrilled. We're thrilled. Okay, we're gonna get back to scrappy cooking, which is
Yes.
what you do so
Yes.
well. So we're gonna actually start with the delicious food. You brought a bunch of things today, and we're gonna start with something that a lot of people throw out. So when we talk about corn and the corn cob, you say use it in a chowder?
The best way to buy corn is when you buy it on the cob, right? And with the husks and everything attached, because a lot of people don't know that this whole thing can be used. So I've made this spring corn chowder that can be eaten warm or chilled. And what I did was, first I infused the broth of the corn chowder with the husks, the silks, and actually the cobs, because it has so much flavor in there.
Wow.
Oh my God.
This is beautiful.
So you would just throw it in like water and then like let it simmer for
I took
a while?
a veggie stock, I took this off. I threw this in, and then, you take the corn off, which I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. You wanna get all those silks off. You take the corn off like this, right?
I love that, yes.
So great if you have kids eating braces. I went through that, or kids wearing braces. I went through that. They don't like to eat it on the cob too. So you have that, and then you throw the whole cob in there too and infuse it in the broth.
And you say we can juice our corn cobs too.
So
juice them?
Yeah, it's a funny thing. You can actually, like, just to show you how much flavor is in here, I'm just gonna take this off, and you see this corner here? I'm gonna turn it to the back of the knife.
Okay.
And then you're gonna go down that, and you can actually see it squirt out. So you want to get every last bit of it out.
Gosh.
And that's why there's so much flavor still in the actual cob of this.
Mine's all gone. It's all gone.
So good. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the hardy rhubarb, and you think everyone should have a rhbarb plant.
So, yes, I have brought you the gift of rhubarb. So I bought all 4 of you a rhubarb plant.
Thank you.
Because if you have any dirt at all around your home, put a rhubarb plant in there. They are super hardy, and I don't know if anyone has bought rhubarb at a store recently, but it's quite expensive.
Okay.
A perennial, comes back year after year. It's like deer resistant. And I mean, it's nothing like seeing the gift of rhubarb growing in your garden in the spring.
Okay, let's get to the food part of rhubarb, because you brought us a rhubarb rice pudding. Tell us
So,
about
you
it.
know, rhubarb cobbler, rhubarb pie, but I like to stew my rhubarb, and there's so many things you can do with it. So,
really good.
A rice pudding, you're using leftover rice that you would typically throw away, so it's free. I used coconut milk to like sweeten it up with a little bit of sugar, and then I stewed the rhubarb with a little bit of sugar as well. It's quite bitter. But I mean, a lot of people don't realize too that you can also eat rhubarb raw. And I don't know if you've ever tried that.
No. Can we try this?
Yeah, you're gonna try it. So I brought a little bit of honey too. So there's some there.
some honey,
And just dip it, and it's quite bitter.
Oh! I love it.
Very bitter.
Isn't it nice? Yeah, I like it. I mean,
it's refreshing. It's not too sweet. I love it.
That's something else.
But rhubarb is the one thing that you only eat the stalk because the leaves are poisonous.
Okay.
So remember that.
Hot tip. Okay. But so you mentioned pies and jams, and that's what we typically think of. But are there other ways to use?
I mean, tasting it, it's so bitter. You can see that it would go nice with like even savory dishes.
That's what I was thinking.
So a salsa, you know, anything that like is like a chutney type of thing, or even stewed with like a pork or something like that would be beautiful.
Okay, so what are the best ways to put rhubarb to use? Or I shouldn't say rhubarb, but the other parts that you say, you know, maybe we shouldn't be touching.
Besides the poisonous.
Maybe besides the poisonous stuff?
Don't eat the leaves, but the whole stalk can be used. And when you're like harvesting your rhubarb, you'll cut it at the base and it'll keep on growing a couple times. You might get a couple rounds of it. But I mean, I love like a rhubarb coffee cake, a rhubarb loaf, but I mean, stewing it like this is my favorite because I have it like in the mornings with, you know, yogurt, granola. It's really nice.
It's beautiful.
Okay, so let's talk about this. You've made a waste-free chimichurri sauce that is filled with stalks and stems. So tell us about how you're serving it in this case.
So my chimichurri is something that I make like all spring and summer long. It's tangy, it's very herbaceous, and it's a little spicy too. We're getting into grilling season, so it pairs so nicely with meats and grilled meats. I had it last night over like fish, but also, I mean, it's spring pea season. I brought this like spring pea chimichurri right here. So like as a side, you can kind of drizzle it over anything like scrambled eggs in the morning. And I've used all the stalks of like all of these herbs. So your parsley stems, your dill stems, your stems off of your basil, your thyme, your oregano.
Some oil and vinegar and then Bob's your uncle, or?
It's really easy.
I've done everything wrong
vinegar,
in life.
garlic, chilies, and tons of herbs. Just get rid of your herbs.
And you tell us we should stop peeling our vegetables.
Peeling's overrated. Like just, I made everything here without peeling a thing. You're going to save time in the kitchen. The peels have a lot of nutrients, they have a lot of fiber, and to me, it locks in the flavor. So, for example, this is a potato salad, which is like all through spring and summer, great. Leave the peels on. I've also grated some carrot with the peel on, and you know, you spring it up with your fresh peas, your spring asparagus, and you're good to go.
It's gorgeous and fresh. Okay, so last up, we're going to talk about veggie tops, because that's another way we're always, I feel like I chop up the carrot, I throw it out. So how can we use these tops?
So, I mean, there's lots of tops that are kind of like, not palatable. So, leeks, for example. Oh, there we go. You tend to throw these away, but you can put them in a soup, a stock. It adds flavor. You can pull them out at the end. So you want to think about using up those stalks. But the stems too, like beets, your beets.
Okay.
Your beet greens, I love, right? And with the beets, if you buy them this way, it's like a 2-for-1. So you get your beets, you get the stems, and here I made a borscht. Now, borscht is like a hearty kind of thing that you would have through the cold winter months.
Oh, it's nice.
But if you puree it, right, you can serve it chilled in the summer.
Yeah.
And I've used the whole beet. And I didn't peel the beets.
And I'm not a beet fan, but I like this.
So
It's
good.
nice, right?
Really, really nice.
It's like
Really
a little
nice.
beet shooter.
It is. Just a little beet shooter. It is. You bring such amazing, innovative ways for us to use every single part of our food. So, Christine, thank you for doing it again.
It's my pleasure.
There's something so magical about cooking in the spring. Just thinking about all that asparagus, the rhubarb, the peas, the baby leeks delights me.
Oh my goodness, I wish I was excited as you are, Jess. It is palpable, but you then must be thrilled that our next guest is here to put all of that fresh Canadian produce to use in a stunning seasonal recipes. And so we'd like to welcome back to the show Chef, founder of Nice Cans. Get it? Charlotte Langley.
I got the nicest cans in Canada.
Well, we're going to get into the spread that you brought, but can we first actually share why you are so passionate about eating seasonally?
Okay, a season is a season for a reason, and it's springtime, and I'm like tired of beige and brown food. So now all these beautiful things are inspiring my pantry, inspiring my cooking. Leeks, asparagus, peas, like it just brings me back to life.
Yeah, like
I was missing
itself.
it. Yeah, exactly.
I feel the exact same way, and we're gonna dive in starting with asparagus. So what do you want people to know about asparagus?
It is one of the first sort of spring veggies that comes available in the market. They're nice and tender, they're fresh, they're so versatile, and since they're so new in the season, you can eat a lot more of it. You don't have to trim the stems.
Nice.
It's kind of fun, and you can use them in so many different ways.
Yeah, well, let's find out how you use them, because you did a charred asparagus with spring garlic gremolata. So tell us about
Super yummy. Okay, so the asparagus, very easy, grilled very quickly, nice and crunchy. So want the texture, gremolata, spring onions with a little bit of fresh herb and citrus just chopped up all together, pour it on top, serve it as a side, or eat it on its own. Imagine putting a bit of burrata on top of that too. Like, it is a simple, fresh, crunchy.
This is delicious.
I know, it's yummy, right?
Delicious.
I could eat this every day.
She's gonna eat it every day.
I could eat it every day. It's so delicious.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh,
I'm so good.
Really, really, really good.
And nice texture too, right?
Beautiful.
Crunch. I like the crunch.
is important.
You continue enjoying, Jess. Next, something that maybe some people are a little more unfamiliar with, and it's something called ramps. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what ramps are.
Ramps are wild leeks, and these are them right here. So this is a very beautiful product that grows wild in the forests of Canada. It is a protected species, so if you do stumble upon it, don't go crazy and harvest it thoughtfully. Don't just like go, oh, I'm taking them all.
Right.
Just take what you need. It's like a regular commercial leek, like a big leek, but it's more delicate, more oniony. The punch is amazing. When you grill them or saute them as they are now, you can almost like slurp them like noodles because they're so tender. The flavor is amazing. And I think today what we did with these leeks is that we made a little compound butter with some fiddleheads that's on this toast, which I think you're gonna
What else do you do with your ramps?
Well, I get them with a little bit of butter, mix it together with the fiddleheads that I chopped up, and I smear it on this toast.
Okay.
So you sort of get like that oniony, allium-y experience. But you can do so many different things with it. But the toast today is where I feel
God, I love that.
yummy, right? Lots of flavor. Spring brings flavor.
Oh my God, this is amazing. Can you talk to us about fiddleheads?
Yes.
So like, what are they and when are they in season?
So fiddleheads are a fern. They're actually incorporated into the pesto today because it's a little bit early in the season. They're coming, but it's a bit slower. They're a fern that you can eat, also a foraged wild good. There are two different types of ferns though. So if you are harvesting wild things, make sure you're with somebody that knows what they're doing.
Okay.
And can identify them versus just eating like anything out of the woods.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a small fern. They're great.
So you have fiddlehead pesto on this wonderful board.
Yes.
Tell us how you made it.
Okay, it is fiddleheads blanched and chilled, chopped, walnuts, Parmesan, a little bit of citrus, and a little bit of olive oil. That's it. And then you just put it on your board.
Zip it up.
Zip it up.
Okay, can we talk about this board?
This
what
is
else? This looks
springboard.
beautiful.
I started a springboard, so lots of soft cheeses like chèvre and a little bit of goat's cheese. And a way to add some nice and like spring fruits and veggies. I like to add a little bit of tin fish as well because, you know, Nice Cans is a sustainably Canadian brand, which is also my cheeky brand. But I brought some other friends. A little smoked whitefish from Great Lakes Tin Fish and a little sardines and ravigot from José Gourmet. Cheese and fish.
Good.
That's what I think you have there to
Oh my God, I'm
This
Get
looks like
into it.
it's out of just a beautiful magazine. So what are your tips on how to create the perfect board?
You want texture, like variants of texture. You want different colors. Also, I like to raid my fridge. Like, what do I have? Pickles, like the fiddlehead pesto, whatever I have left over, nuts, cheese. Just pull it together, texture, color, and don't think, just feel. Just like feel it out.
Feel the board.
Yeah,
Feel
don't
it.
be so precious.
Don't be so precious. Be like, oh yeah, this feels right. This feels right. Just go for it.
I
Just
love
no fear.
it. You're manifesting a board.
No fear.
Okay, let's talk, excuse me, spring seafood. What are you looking for this time of the year?
I am looking for halibut, scallops, shrimp, all those light, delicate seafoods because they pair so well with citrusy, bright things. Less heavy, a little bit, and do some new different preparations with them, not just roasted in the oven.
Exactly.
Let's get
Some dip.
creative, something diff. So,
Let's just roast the next dish while my mouth is full. Halibut crudo.
halibut crudo.
Why is this the perfect spring dish?
This brings alliums to life. There's a chive oil on the plate, so you're getting those green, grassy notes from the chive oil, plus a bit of citrus that balances with the halibut or scallops,
Oh
which is
my
a great
God.
substitution.
Okay.
And this is just like a simple, fresh, bright dish that brings your palate to life in your kitchen. Like, gives you some difference.
My God.
I love this stuff. And you want a bit of crunch and, I don't know, I love a good crudo.
It looks like a work of art,
It's pretty,
too.
right?
Isn't
You eat
that
with your
gorgeous?
eyes. You eat with
It
your
is
eyes.
Imagine
beautiful.
having that on a table and having friends and
That's
family
like, you
come
know,
over.
fancy at a restaurant. You
Yeah.
definitely make you that.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
just delicious.
Delicious.
Unbelievable.
So we're moving on to one of my favorite spring ingredients, rhubarb. So why do you love it so much?
I like it's like sweet and sour. It's like sort of like you take a bite of it when it's in the yard when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
You're like it's like sour, and then you dip it in sugar, and it's like it's like it's kind of like a dramatic fruit.
A very dramatic food.
It's like I like the drama, exactly.
So rhubarb is very dramatic,
Super
and you've
drama.
actually decided to make it with a duck breast.
Yes.
With rhubarb.
Yes.
Gastrique.
What is that?
What is that?
Rhubarb gastrique is basically rhubarb, sugar, and vinegar. And you cook it down so it's
Rhubarb,
sticky
sugar,
and
and
tacky.
vinegar, okay.
And then the smoky nature of the duck makes it like, it pairs really well. Smoked, sweet, sour. She's luscious.
I've never
she's
had
gorgeous.
duck before.
Get it in your
I've
face.
never had duck before.
Here we go. Yum, yum, yum. Right? A little bit of both.
Oh, that's nice.
This is a good, this
It's
is a
the
good day,
smoky
guys.
and the sweet.
See,
That's what it is for me.
I like duck, but I've never actually prepared it myself.
Yes.
So do you have any tips on that?
Cold pan, skin side down, render slowly, like
Okay.
7-10 minutes. Flip it and let it rest in the pan while you're getting your other sides done. Slice super thin.
Yeah.
Drown it in gastrique.
Bob's your
Good to
uncle.
go.
You're done. You're done.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay. Last tips on what we should consider when it comes to eating seasonal protein.
Seasonal protein. Seafoods are fun because they are also in season. Lamb and duck, those sort of things versus our heavy roasted meats and beefs and the braises. Think duck, lamb, seafood.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And Canadian.
seafood.
Why not buy
And
Canadian?
Canadian.
You
products,
can
right?
complement all those proteins with all of the greens, all the things that are just sprouting out of the ground.
Typically, these things pair naturally well
Yes.
together because they grow together. And it's
Beautiful.
Science.
Well, Charlotte, you and your expertise and your nice cans are welcome all the time. All the time.
So today we're diving into a topic that's impacting everyone from families to single shoppers and anyone who's noticed their grocery bills skyrocketing.
Now, to help us understand why this is happening and share tips on stretching our food budgets is financial expert Beverly Wilkes.
Hello. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So listen, Bev, inflation rates they've eased up, they're coming down, but it doesn't feel like groceries prices are coming down. So
Exactly.
why is that?
Well, here's a little stat for you. Prices for grocery food have gone up 25.8% in the last few years. I think everybody has felt it when you go to the grocery store, right? So whatever cost you $100 in 2019 is now costing $125.
Wow.
So why? Well, there's a number of reasons. One, rising operational costs. 2, supply chain issues. That was a big thing during COVID. Labor costs, people want to be making more money, so they got to pass that down to the consumer. Fuel costs, even when you go to get gas in your car, that's more expensive. And then, of course, we all listen to the news. Grocery stores have made record profits, so yes.
Okay, that's very
another
interesting.
angle to add to the mix, yes.
All right, I've been hearing this term that I'm hoping you can help me with, me-session. What does that mean?
So me-session is the opposite of a recession, right? So me-session is people are putting themselves saying, you know something? I'm gonna hang on to my money a little bit longer. I'm gonna not make that purchase and just wait a little bit. So people are going out fewer times for dinner a week. People are not buying big ticket items as frequently. And as a financial educator, I'm like, if you're taking care of your money, I am all for it. That makes me very happy. But when you look at the Bank of Canada lower the interest rate, people are now looking to spend a little bit more. So taking a me-session is great. Double check yourself, make sure you're okay, and then move forward when you feel that it is the most important thing for you and your family.
Okay, so let's talk about the products on the shelves, because shrinkflation is something that really gets me.
We all
right? It is something
you
that
and your
more and
chips,
more.
Yes.
Explain how it works and why companies are using it as a strategy instead of raising prices. Because I don't know that I like it. I don't like it better. I don't think so.
You want to open a bag of chips and have less chips.
That's right.
That's one of the items, actually. And so the definition is smaller packaging for higher or the same price. So you go and you get your favorite, I have a great example, my orange juice example. I'll share that personal example. A couple of weeks ago, I go to the grocery store, I get my favorite juice. I look at the package and I'm like, this looks smaller. Anyways, I buy it, I go home, I pour myself into my recycle bin, I pull out the old one and I'm like, oh, it's really smaller. And it was $4.99 for the original.
And the bigger one.
The bigger one, and it was $6.99 for the smaller.
And you saw that. You saw the numbers.
Absolutely.
Like week after a week difference.
2 weeks difference.
2 weeks difference.
Yes.
Wow.
And you're holding the smaller package being like, am I growing? I need to talk to someone about this.
It's like the movie Big.
So fewer chips in the chip bag, even fewer squares on your toilet paper roll.
Get out!
Yes, so...
Now that seems essential.
An essential product, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you tell us more about the private label products that we're seeing that are like growing in popularity over name brand products? Why is private label often way less expensive?
So the big thing is they don't have to pay for the marketing as the large brands.
Right.
So that's why when you go to the store, the box is really similar to the other box that's next to it. So pick them up, take a look at it. See what is inside of it. Typically, it's 1 or 2 ingredients that are a little bit different.
Right.
And that's great. Sometimes there's even less calories, which is also great.
Yeah.
But a great time for you to say, I could save a couple of bucks and have the equal amount of goods that's inside it.
Wow.
So that's a great opportunity. And those aisles are getting larger. They're adding in more and more and more products to them. So take a look at them. It's really a great place to save some money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've brought us along some simple strategies for stretching our dollar further. Can you break them down for us?
Yes, of course. So number 1, shop more frequently. You don't need to go and buy one big bulk and then sometimes you leave it in your fridge and then things go bad and then you have to throw it out. So the more you go, you're still spending the same amount, you're just going back a bit more frequently.
So that's less waste, right?
Exactly, less waste. Number 2, visit multiple stores.
Yeah.
When I was a child, my mom used to drag us to 4 stores. I'm like, Mom, why are you taking
Shop
me to these
around,
stores?
yep.
And she's like, you'll know one day. And like, thanks, Mom, I now understand.
Yeah.
Yes, so now maybe not 4, but you could go to 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then that's great for your budget as well. Use the coupon apps. Couponing. And use your flyers. Those are great opportunities to do that as well. And before you head to the grocery store, people, please look inside your own pantry and fridge so you don't double up.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, is the grocery industry doing anything about this? Like, are there any solutions being offered within the industry?
So the big thing is private labels. That's doing really, really well.
Okay.
And another big area is there a movement that's called the ugly food movement. And this is where you see fruits and veggies that are not perfect. The lemon's a bit wonky or the tomato's a bit bigger or smaller. Those are still equally as good. Now grocery stores are now putting a little section in their produce aisle saying that these are the ugly, the wonky fruits. Take a look at them, buy those as well. They taste just as good.
Yeah,
Just
we have to stop discriminating against red peppers that are misshapen.
That's right.
It's not fair.
They taste the same.
It tastes exactly the same.
Bev, thank you so much.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
It's estimated that the average Canadian eats only 71% of the food they buy. That avoidable food waste adds up to over $1,300 a year.
And our next guest wants to help put some of that back in our pockets. Here to breathe fresh life into summer ingredients by upcycling them into new dishes is culinary expert Valerie Azingue.
Welcome back, Valerie. It's great to be back. I'm excited about this one, and let's get into the first ingredient we're going to upcycle, which is stale baguette. So how are you repurposing it?
So we all love a summer grazing board.
Yeah.
With the plateau mix, you have your mix of your cured meats, your cheeses, and your fruit, and your baguette, which is the base for your board. Now, we never get to use the entire thing, which means you're always going to have leftovers. And since they're baked fresh,
Not at Jess's house, but yeah.
and they're baked fresh with like no preservatives. So how do you upcycle something that goes stale, like a baguette? You make bread dumplings with it. So now we're starting off with spinach Gruyere bread dumplings served with a sage buttery sauce.
Oh my gosh, so these are them?
Yes.
So we're gonna try it, and tell us how do you make them and how hard is it to make?
It's super simple. So in a large bowl, you're gonna combine some spinach, some Gruyere cheese, and some baguette cubes.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
Quite simple too. And then you're just gonna add some more milk, some salt and pepper, form them into dumplings, and then in a saucepan, you're gonna bring some water to a boil. You're gonna steam these real quickly, set aside. Then to make your sage buttery sauce is super simple. You're gonna melt some butter in a pan, add some sage leaves and some garlic. When it's melted and golden brown, serve it over your dumplings, and it's ready to eat.
No, it's delicious.
This idea.
That's a great idea.
It's really great.
I also love bread, so
We all love bread.
who doesn't love bread? Okay, so how else would we be able to use stale bread?
You can use it as a topper for your brown sugar so it doesn't go dry.
What do you mean?
Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Because you know, like brown sugar, like it loses moisture because of the molasses.
And then it gets all clumpy?
Yeah. So if you don't have terracotta discs, just throw the bread on it and it's good.
All right, I just learned something new. That's fantastic. All right, so next, this one I'm a little skeptical about.
Oh, dear. Here we go.
Okay, so next you say we can save our shrimp tails.
Yes.
And orange peels.
Yes.
Talk to us about this one.
I will definitely talk to you about it. So next we have citrus shrimp and mushroom risotto, and stay with me.
Okay.
The key to making the mushroom risotto is to make your seafood stock from scratch.
Okay.
And you can use your shrimp skins and your orange peels in the stock.
In the stock.
Yeah. See?
I was
Not too
wondering.
bad. Not too
had us eating the shrimp tails.
So here's a question though. Can you just freeze, like let's say you don't use the shrimp peels right away, can you toss them in the freezer? So for when you're making a seafood risotto?
Yeah, and you save it to make the stock later, yeah.
I love that. So how do you make the risotto?
Oh, to make the risotto is super simple. You're gonna need 2 pots, one to heat up your seafood stock and the other to make the risotto. And then you're gonna add some butter.
Good.
Enjoy.
Add some butter.
Then you're gonna add some shallots and some mushrooms, add your border rice, a little bit of brandy, or some wine. Then you're gonna add your stock by half the cup until it's nicely cooked and al dente. Once that's done, serve it with your shrimp, and voila, dinner served.
I love the orange. That's so good.
You are winning me over with everybody.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
so are there other ways we can repurpose orange peels? Now this one you're gonna have to sell me hard on. Talk to me.
Okay, so stay with me on this one. So fall is around the corner. Throw your orange peels in the oven, dry it out, grind it into a powder, use it in your baking.
Like a little essence of
A
something.
little essence, a little sprinkle.
Oh, that's nice.
You know you're talking about that.
Wow.
That's a genius idea.
Okay, so for our next dish, you made it with carrot tops, which I don't think if you can find them anymore. Most people buy carrots in a bag. But if you're lucky to get carrots with carrot tops, don't throw those carrot tops because what are you gonna do?
Salsa verde with it.
Salsa verde!
Salsa verde!
Oh my gosh!
Serve it over some sea bream and some honey roasted carrots.
All right.
So tell us how you make this dish. Well, we get to eat it.
Of course. So the salsa verde is super simple. You're gonna throw some of the carrot tops, some parsley, tomatillo.
You know what you're talking about, girl. This is delicious.
I mean, thank you. Some salt and pepper in a food processor. Puree that until smooth and serve it with your seared sea bream, which is super easy. Just sear it in a pan with some ghee on both sides until cooked. And then for your honey roasted carrots, toss it in some butter and some honey and some garlic. Throw it in the oven and roast it. And yeah.
Oh my gosh. When I get home, I have to go through my compost and start pulling everything out. You are blowing my mind.
Just quickly, I want that sauce in my fridge at all times. It's that good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You must have it.
All right.
Absolutely.
So are there other things that you can do with carrot tops so that they don't go to waste as well?
Another mind blower here. Throw it in your stock, in your seafood stock.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everything goes in the stock.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smart.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Last, you've saved some bruised peaches and some wilted basil. Now this one, all right. You convinced me on the other ones, but this one, let's see. Bruised peaches and wilted basil. Talk to us. How are you gonna save these ones?
So next we have your peach and basil galette with an almond chantilly cream.
Oh,
delicious. However, we all buy peaches in the summer, and you know you have like some bruised ones over, and you just kind of want to toss them out because they don't look visually appealing, but they're really good to eat. Just soak them.
So good.
Soak them in some water and vinegar, and it gives it a bit of a zhuzh. And then you can use it for literally anything.
Oh my God.
How did you make this galette?
Yeah, super simple. Throw some dough in a bowl with some butter and some ice water.
Keep talking, I'm
with some
listening.
salt and pepper. Make that into a ball, put it in the refrigerator, and then after you've soaked your peaches, you're gonna... You're gonna toss your peaches in some sugar, put it in assemble it in the middle of the dough, fold in the edges, and just bake it in the oven.
Oh, this is so much easier than a whole-on pie.
Exactly, it's a rustic version of a pie.
Rustic.
It's rustic.
Rustico.
Also delicious.
Oh.
Yes. All right. So are there other ways to repurpose wilted basil?
Make basil oil with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, mix it with a bit of spinach.
Okay.
And just use it on your eggs or your salad. Some potatoes.
You're a genius.
Everything.
Mine changed. I think we changed this one's mind.
Oh,
Backstage.
Yes, we did.
Going to
You
the
were
compost
nervous.
the minute I get home.
Valerie, that is true success. Changing Andrea's mind.
I'm in.
Thank you so much for all of these great ideas.
Thank you.